hello and welcome. It's me again. And me, you know by now, it's Joy. It's Joy Ruffen coming to you from the Sunshine State, Florida. This is Wednesday night, and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., we come to you with leading ladies, leaving legacies, living legacies. And my guest and I were just chuckling and laughing because, you know, technology, it's always exciting. It's always maddening. All the good things rolled up into one ball. We're not sure about the sound that we're getting for whatever reason, but we're going to fly with it because we have so much good information to share with you tonight. Our guest tonight is Dr. Theresa Pantanella. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She'll let me know. Dr. Theresa Pantanella has a doctorate degree in occupational therapy from Rocky Mountain University in Utah. Her career in internet marketing and social media began when she started to explore this new career for herself. And when she did, she found a lot of excitement there and a lot of new means and ways to not only introduce social media to herself, but all the things that everyone needs to know. And all of you know that for me, technology is much fun and great arena to dance in, and yet not too good at the dancing in it. So I'm looking for all the help that we can get. So she's going to share with us her mentorship with how she came to become an expert at Google keywords and all the other research that she's done. So I'm going to ask you to help me to welcome Dr. Theresa Pantanella, and I'm going to bring her over now. And I'm saying to you, Dr. Theresa, hello and welcome. Good to see you. Welcome.
Oh, it's great to see you, Joy.
Okay.
It's great to see you. Joy, thank you so much for having me tonight. I really am honored that you're having me as a leading lady, and I'm working on my legacy. I do want to share with everybody and inspire your audience. And I want to thank the audience for being here as well, because I know this is a wonderful time of the year when we all have beautiful memories we're making with our families, our friends, and loved ones. And I appreciate that you took the time to be here with us tonight.
Listen.
And I hope to make it very valuable for you.
I'm sure that you will, Theresa. And one of the things I want to say to you before we get going here, and there's so much I'm sure that you want to share with us, and we're eager to hear. For whatever reason, the sound that's coming from my end and your end, I'm not sure. It's not synchronized. Oh. Don't let that stop you, though. Just continue to share with us the information that you have to share with us about Google and keywords and how all of us become the masters of it for ourselves, for the circle and the tribe that we're attempting to build. Technology is technology, and you either go with it or you go crazy with it. I prefer to go with it. I'm not going crazy, so it's all right. When you're speaking to us, the synchronization of your lips and the words are not coming through as they should. And someone out here will let me know if it's really, really that bad. So my first question for you, because I didn't read that much of your bio, Theresa, and pronounce your last name for me. Is it Pantanella?
Yes, you said that beautifully. My grandfather would be so proud.
I love the way you pronounce my name as well. Tell us how you came to this love and the study of the Google keywords and why it's so important to all of us. Share with us as much as you can about that.
What I'd like to start with is when I first began this journey, I wanted to have that laptop lifestyle. It looked like a lot of fun, but you know what? It's an amazing amount of work. I enjoy it because to me, it's an avenue where I'm uncovering not secrets, but formulas. And when I go to, the first thing I need to know, what are people thinking of when they're looking for my clients' services? I'm sure the audience is familiar with the movie Avatar.
Yes.
Now, one of the first things we do is before we even do our keyword is we look at the avatar. The avatar being, who is the audience? Why would they want my client's services? And how is it best going to help find my client? So I need to know what's in their head. And I think that's why I enjoy it so much, Joy, is because I'm learning about people, and I'm a people person. It's surprising to me at times that I'll spend all day with the computer. But then at the end of the day, I'm so happy I've met all of these neat things and put together the magic.
Okay, let me back you up a little bit, Theresa, because the sound is so bouncy and it's coming through. I hope the people who are tuning in can hear. I'm glad you are here. So am I, Elaine. It's good to see you. I'm not able to put the comments back up on the sheets anymore for whatever reason, so we'll let that go. Elaine, it's good to see you. It's always good to see you. Elaine is visiting with us here. Let me. I don't know if the sound's coming through. Let me ask you, Theresa. I heard you say the avatar. Everybody has different names and terminology for the target audience, the ideal client, the avatar.
Right.
How do you go about gathering up the keywords for that avatar, that ideal client, that target audience? What is that based on, the base for that finding?
The basis for a finding like that is pretty much getting to know people. When you look at what are baby boomers doing, and like for yourself with the leading ladies, when you look at what does that person look like in terms of what are they feeling? What age are they? And if, let's say you're looking for people between the ages of 50 and 60, you might go into different magazines that you think that individual might like. You might look at movies they would like or books. And this is this, who are their heroes? I think one of the best books written about the silent generation is the one that follows The Greatest Generation by Tom Brokaw. When he wrote that book, he really talked about their heroes and what they stood for. So when you're looking at an avatar, you're looking at the customs, the traits, what defines that group of people. So it's kind of like being an anthropologist.
So once you gather, that's a lot of information that you have to gather. When you gather it, how does one incorporate that insight, that knowledge, that awareness that you gain from gathering together all of these keywords? How do you put that into your marketing, your promoting?
That's a great question, Joy. The marketing piece comes into play is the culture and traits of who you want to market to. Social media marketing to talk to them and communicate with them. Now, there's a lot of platforms out there for social media, and those different platforms aren't excited by everybody. So if we're a consultant and you're looking to work with other business people, you would communicate with them on LinkedIn. Have a product that's geared towards the millennials, you would market on Instagram. If you have something for the home remodeling industry or home services industry, you would use Pinterest. And of course, there's always Facebook. Facebook is the granddaddy of them all. And it's an amazing platform to work with. I truly enjoy it. That one is my ultimate favorite. There's layers and layers and layers of ways to speak to people there. Because Facebook's been around for so long, you can use video, you can use pictures, you can write your whole story, and they have this whole background you can do. Now, a lot of people are moving to mobile phones. Yes. The desktop is still being used. And on the with Facebook, you get a lot of information about anything you want. So clients are out there, people are there. They're there looking for information. They're talking to each other. And it's
Yes, let me ask you this, because all of us are beginning to, we heard it before, but now it's really becoming much more profound and upfront in the acknowledgement of it. In that mobile, the telephone, this phone is where almost 80 to 90% of business is done. What are some of the differences between using this mobile phone and using your desktop when you're marketing and promoting?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that. The phone is a computer, essentially.
Yes, indeed.
Most people will start their searches on mobile. They don't always complete them. And they will move from their mobile phone to their desktop to complete the purchase.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people don't like to keep doing all that clicky stuff on a mobile phone. And it's and what's interesting to me is, if I can tell a story here for everyone, if I could share a story.
You can.
When I was growing up, and it was when I was, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old or so, and the toaster caught on fire. And my dad came running down the stairs, and I didn't know what to do. I just started screaming, "Fire, fire." And he looked at me, and he picked up the toaster, of course, and he took it outside. He said, "What happened?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. The toaster malfunctioned." Very good lesson here. He said, "Theresa, machines don't malfunction. The people working the machine malfunction because they don't know what they're doing."
Wow. That was pretty deep and profound, one and the same. So that analogy is tied into what?
It stuck with me. Yeah, so when I want to encourage the audience, is they're out there working on their laptop or their cell phone, which is a computer, or their desktop, and things aren't going quite right. It's okay. Walk away from it and go back to it later, because you have it in you to make it work. Okay. Just as I had it in me, make sure my toast got done right that morning.
All right, I get it. I get the analogy, and it's pretty profound. Share with us, who are the people? This is a broad-based question, but who are the people that you are working with predominantly now to assist them to finding, in the speediest way, their audience? Is it the millennials, the young, the mature, a mishmash of all? Tell us a little bit about your market, your tribe.
My tribe is fantastic. Some of them, I'm sure, are listening, and I want to thank them for being here. I have a wonderful following. When I started doing the internet marketing, it was 4.5 years ago now. And I started making videos. And again, it was that process of creating a storyboard and telling the story of that person on video. And with the video, so I still have folks that like me to do their videos for them.
Uh-huh. You're going in and out with your sound. I don't know if it's your mic or what, Theresa, but you're fading and you're freezing in and out. If you can hear me, maybe you want to go out and come back in, and I will connect here in the best way that I can, if you can hear me, because you have frozen and there is nothing going on there. You know, guys, by the way, she said something that I ought to have said in the beginning. Thank you for being here. It's always good to see you here. You know that, because you've heard me say that so many times. Theresa came in a wee bit late. I don't know if she's done this before. She really has a lot of good information to share with us, but let me bring her back to the broadcast, but her sound and the picture is not that great. And so there you are again. Thanks for coming back. Let me just put you here. I just want to finish this thought. So I'm hoping that this is coming through fairly clear to you and that some of the information that we're sharing you can get, because Theresa is freezing up and her words aren't synchronized. This is technology, and all you can do is just continue on. So I'm going to bring her back over and say again, thank you, and hope that we can hear her this time. Can you hear? Are you there, Theresa? You can continue with your thought.
Oh yeah, I can hear.
Good.
I can hear everything very well. Thank you.
Well, the sound is.
I hope the audience can hear well too.
Well, the sound is coming and going and it's freezing, but you can finish the thought that you were sharing with us about the technology and the people and the audience and the tribe of people that you're working with.
Yes. I work with folks in their 20s and 30s that are getting appliance repair businesses off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I work with individuals that are getting organizations off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with a lot with individuals that are already set in their careers, but enjoy exploring new avenues for their careers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a work with. So I'm primarily on Facebook with them and Instagram. Some of my e-commerce clients, of course, are on Instagram as well as Pinterest. Because if you're out there shopping and you're looking for ideas, you're going on Pinterest.
Yes. Let me interrupt and interject here for a second, because one of the reasons that this is appealing to me was all about Google and keywords, because most everybody, no matter how much of an expert you are at it, you want to learn and know more about it. So we'll talk about that in a wee bit. But the other thing that excited me about what you're doing is you said how you can get into social media and get away from the do's and the don'ts and the pain and the discomfort. So share with us some of the do's and the don'ts that one should or should not do in social media. I think that would be of importance to the people who are tuned in. My loyal and my faithful. Hello, guys. Always good to see you. Share with us some do's and don'ts with social media, and then we'll go back to Google and keywords.
Well, sure. The beautiful part about the do's and the don'ts is if you do a don't, it doesn't matter because you're not going to end the world. I know I have one client that she had a lot of the don'ts. We worked together intensely for a couple of weeks and we reached the page. The best thing you can do if you are in business is, of course, to have a business Facebook page with some videos on it. Is what stops people's thumbs from scrolling. I'm sure you've seen folks cities or in their cars scrolling away with their thumbs.
Yes.
Looking at
absolutely
social media.
Too often.
Yes, too often.
Yes.
The videos help the thumbs stop scrolling and grabs people's attention. Now, bear in mind with a video, you have 4 seconds. Yes. It used to be quite the vogue thing. Beautiful logo videos before your video showed. We don't see too many of them anymore because they take 4 seconds. That 4 seconds is all you have to get the audience's attention. If you use that 4 seconds to do a video of your logo, they're going to get bored and leave. So using the video does not have to be a long video. Anything 10 to 15 seconds can be effective. You can do 25 minutes. You can do 90 minutes. But bear in mind, if you're posting once a day, which is what I recommend, at least, you can do these 10 to 15 second long videos.
Okay.
At least once a week.
All right. I think we all have that. Tell us some of the things that we should not be doing on social media. And your love is Facebook. And I think most of us who are here, I'm seeing my loyal and faithful here. I'm sure it's there favorite as well. So share with us some of the things that we absolutely, without question, should not be doing on social media.
Without question, leave the cap lock button alone. Step away from the cap lock button. Do not use all capitals. This, when you're talking to people, you're talking with them. So you want to communicate with them in upper and lower case. Don't get sloppy. Do use capital letters where they're supposed to be. But don't put everything in all capitals.
Well,
I see Alfredo has shown us here. He's putting some good tips up there.
Well, I just discovered my audience here, the way to put the comments up on the screen, because it's a new symbol which I was not familiar with. Alfredo is one of my loyal and faithful, as well as Elaine and some of the others here, and they're always here supporting me. In my heart, they know it's there. And so, you learn as you go. One of the things that's happening with us here, and I'll have to ask Alfredo what and how we get away from this. You are freezing up an awful lot. I'm hoping, and now I can't get this out of here, I'm hoping that we will be able to have some semblance of sound and expression for people to hear, because your face is freezing and your voice, Theresa, I don't know if it's the computer, the sound. Maybe Alfredo can help me out knowing what to avoid the next time around, because the sound and the freezing is not good at all. I heard your do and your don'ts, and we get it, because it is major, all capitals, and the do that you really ought to do as far as posting once a day and all of that. What are are there any other tips that you can share with us about the do's and don'ts with social media? And let's tie it in more to Google keywords. I don't know about the audience. I'm sure hi, Ross, Carla, good to see you. I'm sure they're as interested as well in more information on Google keywords. So share something that's more impactful for all of us about the search and the involvement in getting to be on top and mastering keywords. That's what everyone here, more or less, I'm sure, without even asking them, wants to know, myself included.
The keywords you could use in your social media. It's when you work with keywords, your research could bring in as many as 700.
Wow.
As many as 1,000.
Do
you want to use all 700 or 1,000?
No.
No. It's too much to manage in terms of data collecting, because you want to know if the wanted to or not. There's a lot of information out there, Facebook analytics, Google Analytics, that will show you if your keyword's being used or not. But you also want to do in your keyword research is communicate effectively with your community, with your tribe or your audience. So with the keywords, let's say you're selling red Mustangs to 55-year-old to 65-year-olds. And these are refurbished red Mustangs. So would you say to your possible client, hey man, I've got a red Corvette, red Mustang here for you. Something more along the lines of, well, that's cool. Let's get a Mustang. You want to reflect the generation. You want to reflect the generation that had the Mustangs when it first came out. And I see Ross agrees with the caps lock.
Yes. You know what?
So when you're in the lingo of your clientele, let's say, for example, I have clients that sell survival gear. and they constantly use a phrase that's good history. Would I use that phrase with my window selling client? No, because it belongs in the survival group. So you need to know what lingo are they using, and that's your keyword.
Yes. And let me ask you this, contingent upon your keywords and your target audience, your ideal customer, and what you're doing as far as promotion and marketing, your blogs, your videos, your marketing, how many of those keywords, I heard you say 700 to 1,000. Would you say somewhere between, let's say 15 and 30 is how you mix them around and move them around, contingent upon what you're doing, that are going to be impactful and useful for you? Does that make sense for you?
Well, it does. It does. It all depends on you and your abilities to analyze. If you want to analyze your top 50, because when you do your keyword research, you're going to know which ones are popular and which ones are not. So do you use your top 50? But can you take the time to look at each keyword and every time it's the analytics come in?
Okay.
It's best just to start with the top 10 to 20.
Yes.
Start with your top 10 to 20.
Theresa, let me say this. I don't know what's going on. Someone has said here that maybe you have a slow internet connection, because I love what you're doing. I like the work that you're doing. And the little that I know that you're probably, most likely, not probably, excellent at it. The connection and what we're having coming through here is not very good. We'll have to do this again. And one of the things you'll have to do is check your internet connection and the sound and everything, because it's very spotty and you're freezing and the sound, nothing synchronized. This happens. It's technology. It just happens. I don't know if we have any questions here. Roz says it's like each industry has its own language. Well, that's what she said, and absolutely
that's right.
On point there.
That's right, Roz.
You have to find out what that language
She's absolutely correct
for your clientele. Now, I don't know, Theresa, because everyone who knows me will tell you I am not the computer expert. But maybe what my friend is saying here, did you check your internet speed?
Well, you know what I'm going to do? Let me.
No, I don't. It's all right. What I'm saying is that we're going to cut this short. I don't see anyone who has a question here. And so that being said, I think the best thing that we can do is just bid adieu for now. And we'll find a way to, you and I can go in a practice group and get this synchronized because the information that you're sharing is important. And I know that people want to hear it, myself included. So we'll make sure that we get it right. I didn't think to do a practice because I was thinking your internet and all that was up to speed. And maybe it is. It could not necessarily be you. It could be me. But that said, what do you want to, but before I leave,
you never know when these gremlins are going to show up.
Well, here, and she's right about this. She says, in the believe in the back chemical, yeah, back to 420, slow down. Yeah. Anyway, let me say this. Let me ask you this. Why did you choose?
Thank you, Roz.
Yeah, Roz is on point. She's one of my loyal and faithful. Hello there, Patricia. Good to see you. How did you and why did you choose this area to become an expert in? Tell us that. We'll go out with that and one more question. How did you come to decide that Google keywords and the Google search engine was going to be the area that you wanted to go and tap dance in? What brought you to that? Share that with us before you say so long.
Oh, I want to share that with the audience because to me, I wanted to do something where I could still serve people and be part of a community, but I didn't have to every day go to a brick and mortar store.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was, for me, I enjoy the internet. I can take it wherever I go. I like that idea. And I love to travel. And I'm sure there's folks out there in the audience that love to travel as well. So it just made sense for me to launch a career going into that direction.
I like it.
And I've always played the piano. love playing the piano. And in my heart, I would love to be a concert pianist and be on every stage in the world. I really contemplated doing that, Joy.
I'm only laughing.
I don't know that I have enough time left in my life to do that one. This was a little faster.
I'm only laughing because I get
so
that.
I'll play the piano for y'all next time.
Listen, I appreciate your coming. I know the internet and technology, and everyone here who knows me will share with you. Things always happen. You just keep going.
That's gremlins. That's gremlins.
I like it. That's a new word that I'll incorporate into my lingo, which is gremlin. And yes, they are out and about, especially this time of the year. I really wanted to do this because I feel that what you're doing is vital, essential to all of us, regardless to where we are in our social media careers and so on. And hopefully once we get this a little bit more synchronized for you and myself included, we will do this again. But in the meantime, is there anything you want to leave us with? Is there a question that you have for anyone here, or do you just want to leave us with something? I'm going to put up your link to your website and your name on Joy's TV, and they'll be able to get to you there. But I think there are a couple of the links that you have. But what else is it that you want to share with us before we say so long for now? It's all yours.
Well, in the meantime, until I come back again, I'd like to invite the audience to go to my website. And I do have some tips you can download there on Facebook. So you have some more do's and don'ts.
Good.
And if you do have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me.
Wonderful.
And it's been it's been a pleasure to be here. I'm disappointed the technology gods let us down, but I know that it'll all work out better next time.
Well, I love you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Theresa, before you say so long, life happens, things happen. I'm going to put you to the side for just a moment while I say goodbye. But when you review and you watch this, you'll know exactly what you have to do for the next time. And so will I. So just go to the side for a moment, and then I'm going to come back and say goodbye to you. But now I want to say goodbye and so long. I don't like goodbye. So long for now, and good night to my loyal and faithful. All of you who are here, Ross and Patricia, and all of these wonderful names. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I extended last night, and I'm saying it again. All of your prayers were answered. My husband is doing much, much, much better. In fact, he said to me today, I want to go home. He wants to come home. After all, it's a holiday season. So your prayers were answered, and thank you for all of them. Technology, everyone knows me. It's not my area of expertise, and yet I love it, and I refuse to just give in completely to it. We'll listen to this, and it'll have its yay and its nay and its blah, blah, blah. But we'll just do what we have to do and continue on. I thank you all for being here. Elaine, it's good to see you here again. All of my loyal and faithful Roz, Patricia, good to see you, and Alfredo, and all the others who will come after. If you're watching the replay, type in #replay so that I can know that you were here. And also, if you have not joined, please type in the comments, ladies, LADIES, and join my Facebook group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. I can't wait to connect with you one-on-one there. In the meantime, have a great week. Enjoy the weekend. All the best. Thank you for your loyal patience, your love, your prayers. They are in my heart and will remain there. Until we connect the next time, you be and stay well. All the best. So long for now. Cheers.